Efe, you're high.
Peaceful
Efe, you're
presence, ma.
sky. And then she now put her hand like did hands up on the on the.
Oh, I didn't even see.
I'm like, what's your problem? And please let's give you some props for coming early and on time.
On
Energy
time.
today,
People
Efe.
don't have
Please,
respect.
please,
That's
please,
okay.
please.
No respect in this group.
That was that was a cool one. Okay, ladies. So we're gonna jump right in. So today we are talking about family and relationships, but it's really around the P-square gist. So before I delve into the whole P-square problem, or should I give a background first?
Yeah, give a background.
Let me give a background first. So according to word on the streets, right? One of the P Square. So P Square, for those that really do not know, I don't really know why you may not know, but P Square is a Nigerian music group made up of two men who are twins, and one is Peter, one is Paul. I don't really know who is the last husband, Peter or Paul.
Yeah.
Lola's husband is Peter,
Peter,
and then
okay.
Paul is Anita's boo.
Okay, thanks for the clarification there. So basically, what has it that way back when Lola got pregnant for Peter and had a son for him, but even in that whole them having a kid together, his family did not approve of her, according to word on the streets, because she was older than him and she was of a different um
Tribe.
tribe. The word on the street also is that the mother was the one that was vehemently against they are getting married. So fine, you have a kid for us now, that's fine, but that marriage is not going to hold. So the mother eventually passed on, and I think shortly thereafter he formally married her. And
Mm.
so that seemed to cause a rift in the family because it seems like the eldest brother, or at least the eldest that we know, Jude, seemingly wanted to uphold the mother's last wishes, right? Of you can't marry her, and that caused fight between Peter and Jude. And Paul had tried to sit on the fence for a long time. So somewhere along the line, I think he decided to side with Jude. I'm not really sure for what reasons, but it seems like business was also impacted as well. And so Paul went with Jude, and Peter is now on his own. So basically, the
Okay.
family is
Split.
divided
Mm.
because of this whole him deciding to marry Lola, who had a kid for him and now has had another, so that they have two kids now. So that's the background story. So the first question I want to go into is, should a woman marry into a family that does not approve of her, even though the husband truly loves her? Now let me explain truly loves her. Truly loves her can mean that his eye is not outside. Now, does that mean that he will defend you with them? That can be a different story. But he like he's not playing you. Let me put it that way. As far as your romantic relationship goes, when the family is not there, you will have a good time. When they are there, you may or may not, depending on how he wants, whether he wants to defend you or not. So, with that
Mm.
background
Mm.
story, should a woman marry into a family that does not approve of her, even though the husband really truly loves her?
Mm.
I don't think so.
Mm. Mm.
Okay. Do you want to say more about that?
Because eventually family for most people, I think family always wins. So for me, it's just like make sure if your husband's people don't like you, find a way to find is it from you? Is it just it could be a tribalistic or tribalism thing where it's like, oh, we don't want to marry someone who's not this. If it's that, then for me, just shall go. But if it is you, because in the last case, I know people were saying that, oh, because she's Yoruba, she's older. I think it was deeper than that. I'm not going to go into that because it involved her personal life, and I
Right.
think that's why.
Mm.
Because Paul's wife is, I mean, I think she's half Igbo, but she's not Igbo.
Yeah.
So it was like when people were saying, "Oh, it's because she's Yoruba," I'm like, no. Like people that have the inside gist, which I read on some blogs. Like, of course, people can say anything, but I feel Lola. People know Lola. Like before Psquare was there, people knew who Lola was. So there were some personal issues like with Lola that their mother didn't particularly like. So it's like, okay, we don't know what those issues are. But for me, I think in general, if my husband's family is already giving me a headache, before I get married, like, or my to-be husband, I won't continue. Like I would just take a break and just, tell him to sort, if it's not my issue, if it's not my problem, or if I don't have any issue, or, or again, you have to, with marriage, I think you have to also be able to compromise. Because I remember reading a story of someone who, I think she had piercings and tattoos or something, and her fiance was like, oh, if we're going to see my parents, you have to take them off. And she said no. I'm like, auntie, do you really want to get married?
Fair,
Like,
fair.
do you really want to? So there needs to be a compromise. If it's something that has to do with me, and maybe my in-laws don't really, they don't support that kind of thing, then I ask myself, can I live with this long term? Like, can I not be myself because I love someone? So it's, for me, I would say it's better to just avoid it, because in the long run, it probably won't work. I've seen many instances where someone gets married regardless, and then eventually the husband will choose his family over you. So yeah, for me it's
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Mm.
Eka, do you want to?
I support Ife. I think for me it's no. I would say it's no in the sense of you have to first understand how is the guy's, how is the man, if it is a man, for example, most times it will be you marrying into the man's family, as they say. How is his own dynamic with his family? Are they very close? Are
Okay.
they always
Mm.
together? I would say no. Me, generally, I would say no. But then if you're marrying somebody that is completely detached from the family, maybe that will help a bit, and then you can do, I don't care if the family doesn't like me, because he doesn't even regard the family. But then if the person is close to the family, like Peter was close to his family,
Mhm.
in the sense of they do business together, he's in business with his twin, like the whole family is such a close unit that
Yeah.
if they don't like you, you should be concerned. You should be concerned because, first of all, before he knew you, he knew his family. Before you were in his life, his mother gave birth to him. His mother will claim that she knows him more than you will ever know him. So if the man's mother doesn't like you already, that is a bit of a,
Yeah.
and you've tried everything to try to solve it, that is a bit of a stretch. And then not only the mother, but every other family member seems to have a problem with you. Then I personally would tell the person, even the man that is marrying, to go and actually sit down. It can be hard sometimes because you're seeing somebody and you love the person, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you present the person to your family members, and then boom, they just remove your mind from the whole love that you're showing. But I actually believe in the saying that says love is blind, and sometimes it's bad belle. Sometimes they might be seeing something that you can't see. And as if he said, a few years down the line, all of a sudden your eyes will open, because obviously you're living with the person for a longer time, and then maybe the person's fakeness, if it was that the
Yeah.
person was not good, will start to show, and then you now be saying, had I known. So I think it's a good thing to consider why there is hate. I mean, if you're going to get married to somebody, I'll believe you should consider why people do not like the person. And if it is strong enough, you should investigate it. I would also say to the other party who is getting into the marriage, the headache is a lot. If people don't like you, no, regardless, if you marry somebody, you're marrying into their family, except, as I said, they are completely detached, and maybe you're living in a completely different country. But they will come up one way or the other if they are not completely detached from their family. So are you ready to do that one? And you say you're fighting for love, then good luck to you. But me, I will not recommend it.
Okay, so see, I may be, on the other side of this argument for a few reasons. I think that maybe we all have different experiences with family. My experience with family has not been the rosiest of experiences. So I have
Mm,
no issues cutting people off like that, it doesn't personally bother me. So for me, my own, because I think there's this whole sentiment of, oh yeah, the reason your brother, your husband is fighting his brother, so therefore yeah, a bad. I'm like, nah, boo. So for me, I feel like if the man is willing to stand by me, knowing that I didn't do anything, like, because I can't help that I'm older than you, I can't help that I'm from a different
mm,
tribe. So as far as I know that I'm not doing anything,
wrong.
wrong, right? My only consideration at that point in time is like, how much are you willing to stand up for me? In the sense that
Mm,
if your family members, don't like me, I have no issue not attending family events. It will not bother a hair on my head. Now, I would also not stop you from going. Do you get what I'm saying? If they can't come to my house and respect me, then I'm going to need you to enforce that they don't come to my house. So for me, if I'm convinced that you can do those things, especially if you are the breadwinner of the family, right? Because you are the one that dictates what they get financially, they are very likely to align with what you want. Because for example, if only Peter was the rich one, do you get what I'm saying? In the family, I don't think we will hear all this noise because he has stood by Lola, come thick or thin, right?
Mm.
But it because many people have money, so everybody can say go to hell. But if he was, the one that everyone depends on, then they will align to his stance. So for me, I feel like if the man is willing to go the full hog, then I personally don't care what the family members like. I won't lose sleep thinking that you don't speak to your mom anymore. I would not lose sleep because I know that
mm,
it's not my fault. It's your mom that had bad belly, not me. But the important thing that I kind of also want to go on is that I feel like in this day and time, I feel like as a man or a woman, should we really still be doing family chores like spouse for me? In the sense that, um, like let's say a sibling of mine is marrying someone that I don't approve of. I
Mm.
don't think I will go to this extent. Like worst case scenario, I'm like, okay, maybe I won't come to you people's family, gatherings or whatever,
Mm.
but I will still keep my thing with you going to the extent that it doesn't affect. So, but this whole, over my dead body, would you marry? Because it basically seems like the mom took that hard of a stance where the marriage didn't happen until she actually, you know, died. So
Yeah.
to me, I just feel
mm,
like, where do you as an adult get off? And then even the brothers trying to enforce the mother's dying wishes, like this whole dying wishes thing. I feel like sometimes people do too much. The person has died. The person has died. Like, as in, you get what I'm saying? As in, is the person monitoring their dying wish from
mm.
month? As in, you get what I'm saying? So how much should we be held to this dying wish when we're the ones that are living, in this life now? As in, you get what I'm saying? So I feel like there's too much culture without thinking about how does this impact the people involved. If that makes sense?
But what do you
Mm.
mean by culture?
Like culture in the sense that, oh, we're doing this to uphold mama's dying wish, or we're
But
doing
then,
this because our tribe doesn't mix with this tribe, or because
yeah,
age, in our culture or in our society,
you
older
must
women
not
don't
marry.
respect their, as
Mm.
in, it's like, okay, but in this particular context, is she disrespecting your brother? Yes or
Mm.
I
no? In
I
this
person
context, is our tribe
yeah.
like what does that mean for anything? Like,
Me, I personally think it's even deeper than that. If we're using like Psquare as an example or the Okoye family, I think it is more of this kind of thing where, okay, the mother said over her dead body, then the
mhm,
mother dies actually, and then they got married after the mother died.
yeah,
Now, I personally would like to, unfortunately, this is just hearsay, so we don't know what the real deal
Mm.
is until they actually all sides come to talk, because there are different sides to every story, until all sides come to talk. But I personally think or feel, I might be very totally wrong, it is there's a lot to it, in the sense of, okay, if these people don't like you based on so and so and so,
mhm,
which is judgment, which is not fair, because the person might have changed. Maybe the thing that the so and so they hate the person for is bad. Let's
Mm.
even remove the tribe and the
Yeah.
age and all those things. Maybe there's
right,
something deeper than that, as if he said. Now, what in the on the flip side, the person that is being hated on, I know it can be hard on the person, but what is the person doing? How is the person
Thank you.
trying to, not, maybe not, because it's not the kind of thing that you say, okay, you're trying to kiss ass to you. Do you get what I mean? You're trying to
right,
change yourself, but then
The
what are you
middle.
doing or what are you not doing? Because there are things, there are so many different things, and I'm sure you get to that point. But then what are you doing and what are you not doing? Most especially, what are you not doing in the sense of do not go and try to now do too much when you know the situation. So just yeah, so just like how are you acting, you yourself, knowing fully well that somebody doesn't like you. As you said, Olori, me personally, if I was or I am in a situation where somebody doesn't like me and
I'm
I clock it and the person tells me they don't like me, I will say fair enough. In this life, it's not everybody you will get
That's it.
along with. So I will now move on my own lane, even though I know that okay, my spouse, this is somebody that my spouse loves. So I will do it in my best interest to be civil with the person.
Right.
But whether or not I will now try as because you already don't like me. Maybe me, I was okay with you, but you have made it clear to me that you don't like me. It might be hard, but then I'll try to be civil, knowing that my partner loves you a lot because you are their family member.
Mhm.
But whether or not I will now go out of my way to try to no, I'll just kill it. I'll kill that part and I'll try as much as possible to be civil. Even self, I will come for family gathering and I will put in my work
Just
and help. You understand?
Yo,
And all
you
that
are
kind
better
of
than
thing.
me, girl.
No,
You
I
are
will
better
do
than
that.
me.
I will do that, but then I will keep it cordial. So don't come and there's no show of affection here. Hi, oh, I brought this for you. This is the gift, blah, blah, blah. We finish the event. I move to my own lane. I'm not going to call you the day after and say, your event was good, though. No, because we're not cool like that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think another thing is that what is the person that is being hated on, doing? Knowing that they are hated on. So you have to not do too much or don't like, I don't know because the more you try to fake it, the more the person might even
For me,
hate
I
you
think
because they know you're faking it.
it's a toxic situation. That's my own. And then this Lola zone, because I'm remembering Kobe Bryant. I remember before he got married to Vanessa, it was like the same issue. But his mom's issue, I mean, his parents' issue were like, okay, she's Latina. We want you to marry a black woman.
Yeah.
But in Kobe's issue, I think it was just his parents. His siblings were fine with her. So I'm like, if it's the whole family,
Mm,
my own is don't enter. If it's just maybe the parent or maybe just one sibling or one uncle, then you can go in there. But if it's like with
mm.
Lola's own, I feel like it's the whole family against her. So I'm like, I don't even know why she even put herself in that situation. Me, I won't put myself in a situation where by in-law, father, mother, cousin, sister, everybody is kind of so for me, I'm
It's
just
a
like,
bit.
for me, I don't think it makes sense. But like Kobe's own makes sense because it's just okay. My parents, whatever they saw
They
in
have a
Vanessa,
way of thinking,
exactly
and
have a way of
yeah.
thinking. But as long as the siblings are okay with me, then I'm marrying my husband because we're kind of within the same, like we kind of understand what's going on as opposed to older parents. So
But
for
can
me,
we
I wouldn't
talk
want her.
about like so since you bring in siblings, like can you talk about like the role of like like so what if I don't like my brother or sister's spouse? Like that's kind
Mm.
of where I'm like why do we feel so entitled to
Because you love the person. If
dictate?
you love someone and you feel like they're making a wrong decision, you would be like, I don't want you to be with this person. I think that's if it's a genuine problem.
Yeah.
Because of his Yoruba, he's too short, he's not fine, he doesn't have
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but if it's like this guy, maybe he smokes, I don't know, this guy in future, or this guy is kind of, he's a womanizer or he has a bad record, or then things like that. If it makes sense, then I think there's a case for it. But if it's a nonsense superficial thing, then it doesn't make sense. So
To me,
for me,
abuse is the only thing that I may put my foot down in the sense that I may not come to the wedding, but I don't know that I will go out of my way to.
but like for example, if let's say you have a sibling, let's say you have a
Mhm.
brother or a
Yeah.
sister who you know that this person is like very passionate, this person loves with their hearts,
Yeah.
and
Mm,
get
mm.
involved with somebody who there's already rumors that either this woman or this man is for the streets.
To
Like
go
it
digger.
doesn't have exactly, it doesn't have
Yeah.
beating someone up. It's just like I know my sister, she or my brother can commit suicide or something because or he can even kill this girl because I know how crazy he is or something. So it's like let's
Mm.
avoid that situation before we get there. So I feel like if you have prior knowledge about something that will affect maybe a friend or a family member, if you know or you have not, you don't even need to know, but if maybe now how rumors will go here and there now
Yeah.
before my
Yeah.
you have that information because the people in love we never when we're in love we don't see the full picture because we're
Mm-hmm.
just there. So somebody from the outside, we hope someone from the outside can talk to us and say, go, I don't know what you're doing, but you have to calm down, so I
Yeah,
think
no,
that's where
but what I'm saying is one thing, like I'm not saying because if this is your sister or your brother, I think you owe them to at least say, based
Yeah.
on these reasons, I don't
Mm.
think that this is the right move for you. But what I'm saying is that what can you do beyond that? This whole over my dead body, I will cause daddy to cut you off the wheel.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's too, like, I've told, like, because you're an adult. I've told you that based on this and this is not looking like a good move.
I think it's just too much passion and too much love that causes that one.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's the same way of how do you stop a parent from doing all those things to their child? Like, I'll do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you said the sibling part, but sometimes you can see something. And as Ife said, and I
No.
said earlier, the love is so blind that you're seeing that this person that this babe, your sibling is with,
Mm.
is a yeah guy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but then the person cannot see. Because I've actually seen a situation. This one was a
Yeah. Me
friend
too.
where the guy is useless. Me, I know he's useless, but then, and I don't like him. And unfortunately, or fortunately, if I don't like you, it cannot even work for me to even fake it. So me, I don't like you, and I'm already using side. And this is just friendship, or we are not even siblings. I'm already looking side, I look using side eye to look at you because I know that you're a useless guy. And I
Mm.
know that this, my friend, her own love is that she's the kind of, oh my God, oh, I'm so in love. But I'm looking at her and I'm like, guy, this guy is a useless guy. Maybe you can see he's a useless guy. She cannot see. And it will even cause
Exactly.
fights. So I will not call him a useless guy, obviously, because I respect her and I respect her decisions. I will not also tell her that, see, oh, I don't know. But she knows that I don't like the guy, because obviously I'm not even interested. Anything that has to do with guy, I'm not interested in knowing or hearing.
Mm.
Now, the only thing I can do for her is that, okay, I don't like the guy, and if you ever ask me, I'll tell you, but then I will respect the guy's presence. But that is as far as I will go. I'll tolerate him as a human being. But
Mm.
when the time comes and Kasala will burst, which it did, and the guy showed himself in true colors, if you come to cry, I will say sorry. And I'll try so hard to not tell you that I told you that this guy was a fool. You understand? Because
Uh,
it's hard to see somebody you love sinking, and
Yeah.
you're just
Without saying
standing to
anything.
watch. So I think that is why, like, the emotions go up so high that you then start to say this over my dead body and all these kind of things. It's not as if the other person, or the person saying it, might mean it as much, but then it is in that kind of passionate, oh my God, I am seeing it, and it is happening. And
Mm.
unfortunately, we are not God. So the person that is saying I am seeing it, you might be wrong. Maybe the person has changed, the person that
Yeah.
your sibling is with or your friend. But then from your small vision that you're seeing doom. So it's just like, okay, let me give an example. If you see your sibling marrying somebody who, because I know that in this podcast, financial
It's a
freedom
big
is good. You now see your sibling going down the line of marrying somebody that obviously doesn't equate, is not higher, or doesn't equate with them financially, and
Mm.
prospect is lacking. Your
Mm.
sibling is marrying a female. Oh, she's
Yeah.
obviously earning more, and she's marrying somebody that has a
you can't
vision and a
be my
dream.
sibling. Stop.
See
No, no, no,
now,
no, 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 no,
guys.
no, no, no. And because I know who I'm talking about. Like, it can't be
No,
her.
no,
But
no,
like,
no. Oh, imagine your
like,
sibling fell deeply in love, and it's not as if she fell deeply in love with somebody that, even at least you can see the prospect, you can see the
Yeah. But
willingness to
you
work
know.
hard. That the person
yeah.
is just in a situation now. You're looking at your sibling is going down the road with somebody that prospect self in no day. He's just a dreamer. You know those kind of sitting down and dreaming. He needs 10 billion to make it, and he's just working on the 10 billion. But to be honest, he's just sitting down with his laptop and zero this thing.
Eka, even if the
What are
person
you
has
going to do?
prospect, if he doesn't have money self, you know that you're like you know that you're sibling. Like once
FA
you get
doing prospects.
no, it's true. Even if the person, because even if the person has prospect, you know that this girl, her taste is high. This thing will not work.
Exactly. So you might judge it. How will you react?
So I
Like,
had to deal with
Me,
something
me.
similar-ish, like recently, right?
Okay.
The girl's taste wasn't high, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
right? But how I put it, it was an interesting financial situation that they were going to build this marriage on. And for me, the only thing that I could say is that, like, let me help you paint the picture very, maybe in your love, you're not really
Yeah.
seeing the full view. Let me help you paint it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as that painting, she chose to still proceed. I'm like, hey, I've done
Done my best.
my
My
best. And in the
best.
same way that I will handle, I'm like, okay, you know your taste is high. You know you have bougie lifestyle. You know this guy. As in, I will lay it out for you because to me, I feel like what where I can add value is the fact that you love is blinding you. It's not
Hmm.
blinding me. But
Very true.
beyond that, I can't force you and say, as in me, I will even contribute to the wedding and say, okay, oh, I will come. But when you start having financial challenges, I
Don't
can't
call
Don't
do,
me.
come and
as
meet
in,
me. Oh.
I, no, meet me. But if your bill is 100K and all I can do is 10K that month, then, you know, to Jesus be your glory. Like there's no, you know, higgy hack there. I just feel like as adults, we can't really hide behind
Okay.
love is blind, right?
Mm.
You know, and I feel like many times we know the pitfalls of what we're going to, but either because of trauma or desperation or something, we want to hope for the best. So for
Mm.
me, is
Also,
once
let me
I've
also
helped
say,
you out, you yeah.
yeah. Let me also say sometimes though, like you might enter a situation because there's some people that are very good at apologizing and saying, "Oh,
Mm.
I'll change." So sometimes you're in a situation where
Mm.
things are happening that are not supposed to happen, but the person is always showing remorse, and you're thinking or hoping that, oh, this person will change. And in most cases, it doesn't happen. So sometimes some people are not seeing the picture. They're like, oh well, I mean, if he did this or if she did this and she asked for forgiveness and she changed, then let me just
Mm.
take him or her
Fair,
back. So sometimes
fair.
people
Mm-hmm.
don't see that, they don't see the negative, they just see the positive, like, oh, it's a good person because they always
Mm.
apologize, they always
Anyway,
Hmm.
let's go into the actual case study now. So what brought this whole P Square gist up is the fact that it was the P Square's birthday sometime last week, and
Mhm.
Lola, which is the wife of Peter, sent a joint birthday message wishing both of them a happy birthday, but then also kind of low-key asking for them to reconcile since they are twins and they are brothers and the whole nine yards. So, what do you girls think about Lola's message?
That's why
between
in my
herself.
opening remark, I said, Either you do or you don't do. Don't go and do what you're
Or
not
don't do
supposed to be
exactly.
doing. Just don't do. Just quiet. If you're doing is going to go like, and even if you want to do it with sense. Don't do it with a shade. Don't do that. That Lola's message had a shade. In fact, I'm so upset because like no, let me just keep quiet in case I'm wrong. But I hate that kind of thing. Rumors have said it that it was her that caused the divide in the relationship. And then the next thing you write a message that kind of like I don't understand. In fact, let me go and look for the message I read again, whether I'm the one not reading it right. But
No,
I don't like things like that. If
let me
you're wishing
support you.
somebody happy birthday, just wish them happy birthday. Don't come and try to now be. It's like you're trying to say, ah, happy birthday, oh, you people, your twins, your family. Family is important, so that's the main thing. So you people should try and come back together. Hello, you're the cause of the fire. It's
My own is
like, uh-uh,
kept quiet because it seems like it's guilty conscience now. Because it's like, no, I mean,
mm,
Anita does not say happy birthday to Peter. Like, I don't think I've ever seen her do, like,
True.
I've not seen Ify also do that. So it's like, okay, why is Lola now saying happy birthday to both of them when at the beginning, why was it when this whole thing started? Did she wish anybody happy birthday? Why is it now that, these guys are, they're not even talking to each other. You're not saying, oh, both of you are twins. I mean, you should have done that at the beginning. So she should have just kept quiet. If you know you're not on good terms with some family members, just do happy birthday and move on. Or don't even say
or
happy
do it
birthday.
personally. Don't you have the
Exactly.
person's personal DM if you don't have the number if they've blocked
For me,
you?
it just looks
I
guilty.
believe they blocked you. So for me, I feel like I'm going to go there, right? I feel like Lola's method was very eye servicey, in my opinion,
Mm,
right? For a few reasons. I feel like and look, and this whole Lola's issue, I've been on the fence on it since this thing started, right? Because we only know what they've put out there. But
Yeah.
the reason why I've leaned a bit more towards Lola because I know how African families can be sometimes. They can be
Yes.
unreasonable. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they are being unreasonable. And again, if it's age and tribe, it's like really why in 2020, you get what I'm saying? So I was kind of leaning towards her side, but I'm like, something just doesn't sit right with this whole thing. But with
Yeah.
this whole message, I'm like, this just seems hypocritical to me. If we've not spoken in 4 years, why are you sending me a public birthday message? Like, what is the point of
Publico.
that? We haven't spoken in 4 years. So like what were you hoping to gain from this? I said, like, I think the wives are still on maybe not best friend term, but they're still on talking terms, right?
Mm.
Kids sometimes do go to each other's events and things like that. So for me, I'm like, if you really wanted an inroad, maybe go through the wife. If you really feel like, okay, you want to
Mm-hmm.
mend fences, of which I don't think, like, honestly, if me I was Lola, I would stay in my lane because I did not do
Yeah,
anything bad to you. I don't think that I need to help mend
that's
the
what I'm
fence.
Exactly. If your conscience is clean, just
Yeah.
leave it to
exactly.
God.
So
Why would
Huh?
exactly. So for me, but if I feel any need to mend fences, I will go through the softer ground, which right now seems to be the wife, right? Let her talk to her husband and then let's see where we can go from there. But this whole, public, family is everything. I mean, family is everything. Then maybe you shouldn't have married into the family. I mean, let's be honest. If family is everything to you and you know that you were the bone of contention, maybe you shouldn't have married in.
Mm.
They didn't force you to
To
to the
accept.
marriage, right? So for me, I
Mm.
feel like it's a bit hypocritical. If I don't like you, I don't like you with my full chest. Like, there's no half
Yeah.
and half. Like, let's all stand in our place. So this whole it just seemed very hypocritical to me, which then to me now weakened in my eyes her character. So it's like, I'm like, okay, so how
Yeah.
much of the problem really is
Yours.
yours beyond just the tribe and
you?
age? How much of the issue really is you?
And if she has moved on, that doesn't mean they've moved on.
Yeah.
If two people have a fight, if one person has come to a level of, okay, maybe she had problems with them as well, she has forgiven, she has gotten into a better place, so she's free to wish happy birthday and give advice. That doesn't mean the other person has reached the level you have reached.
Right.
So just be calm and don't start giving, because it's like she was advising, and that is so wrong. That is
It's
so wrong.
it's shade.
It is so wrong.
Especially
How
when you
can
are the
you be
cause of the issue.
advising? Exactly. No, that really, really upset. I had to actually even go and look to be sure she was the one that wrote it. I said, are you really serious? You will go and write this kind of thing. And you're the adults here, if we're looking at age. Come on.
And you do this every year. So I felt like, if I've not spoken to you in
Yeah.
4 years, like in 4 years we've not spoken, I have no business even being in your DM. Like, at this point, the only way that you and Paul are getting back together is if Peter and Paul get, like, that has to be the first step, and they have to work it out within themselves. Like,
Mm.
they more than anybody else know that they are twins, know what they've shared in the
Mm.
past. So if they cannot get past it on their own accord, sis, you're not the Holy Spirit. It's not going to
No,
be you.
she should just be trying to do her own helping in the back, in the closed
Yeah.
doors, not the one that you're coming to come and give your advice. I mean, what my issue is that what is she saying? Love and respect is sacrosanct. I'll be waiting. What did she talk? My own is that I believe, and then telling them you're not only brothers, you're twins, blah, de, blah, de, blah. Fine. Okay. You want to give your advice. Why don't you just start? Don't give advice. Don't talk. Do things. Maybe
Your
send him
husband.
gifts. Do,
Stab your husband.
yeah, well, do start small. I mean, I tell your husband, love and respect is this. Blah, 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 blah. Let your husband go
Exactly.
and start begging the brother if he feels the need to, or vice versa,
Say,
or
honey,
visiting.
no knacks until you go and meet your brother. No knacks. Put him down.
Exactly.
That's
Do
action. That's action.
My own is that she messed up from the time that she did a public display. Why must it be public? You didn't come and publicly tell us the issue.
Uh-huh.
Then publicly, be privately solve it, as you all of you know the issue privately. Privately solve the issue and come out and say we've solved it instead of publicly advising.
Like,
Like, I don't like people who
I
show
mean,
that kind of.
yeah. I mean, we're almost out of time. But if do you want to? Because you've been on the quieter side of this, like, of this.
I mean, at the beginning, I'm not going to lie. I took sides with Lola, but when I saw this message, I was like, hmm. I mean, because if she really, the other wives didn't say anything, so that's my own thing. Because it's like you are the common factor. Like when
Mm-hmm.
everybody Psquare separated, it's like, oh, it's Lola that was talking to Peter. It's also between Lola and Jude. Jude is like the eldest brother, so I think that was the main fight was even I think between both of them, and then the
Yeah.
mother and the whole family. So for me, I'm looking at Lola in a different way now. Like, is everything true, or So for me, she should have just kept quiet. Don't say anything. Just if you want to say happy birthday, you pray for him in your room. That's
Exactly. Prayer
True.
is the key.
True. In
Pray
your room. No need for
because
public prayer points.
I'm
and
looking at
just show love every
yeah,
time you have a chance. Just show love, not
looking
by
at her
typing on
somehow.
social
I
media.
think you make a good point, Eka, when you say show love. The only thing that I can ask of you is that if there is an opportunity for you to instigate your husband, against the brother more, don't take the opportunity. Yes, they've wronged you. Yes,
Mm,
they've disrespected you, but
Oh,
like, try and sit it out. If you can. That's the only thing that I can ask of you. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
If you come back and says, "Oh, Paul is mad," I should like, well, honey, he's your brother. Let's
A
just,
wise woman
you
once
know,
told me when he enters family matter, just zip your mouth. Like don't put your because tomorrow you're the one they will
yes.
something
they will
happens,
use
they
you
will
to
call
to
you.
to to to,
To
to
Exactly.
settle
to
fights.
yes.
Be neutral.
Anyway, we're basically at time, ladies. So I will see you guys and our fans all over the world,
In the
in the
next
next
episode.
episode. So bye.